For years, country music stars have graced not only the big screen, but the small screen as well. During its 6 seasons on the air, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman featured the likes of Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers, Travis Tritt, and Barbara Mandrell. But the favorites of the cast and viewers alike were Johnny and June Carter Cash.
He was just trying to protect you.
Oh, like the devil I was. I was trying to protect myself.
How high's the water, Papa? She said it's 2 feet high and rising. We can make it to the road in a homemade boat. That's the only thing we got left that'll float.
It was all black, all the time. The first time I ever met Johnny Cash was like the second day of working with him on the show. But I was intimidated because if you saw the way everyone else around the set behaved, I'd never seen them like that before. We had lots of huge Johnny Cash fans, and they were just like quiet. You know, you could hear a pin drop when he walked by. And so everyone really admired this guy. And one day I'm sitting in Grace's restaurant underneath this big oak tree, and over walks Johnny Cash. And he goes, "Mind if I sit down here with you, Joe?" "No problem, Mr. Cash, call me Johnny." "Okay, Johnny." And we start to talk about things. And, you know, I said to Johnny, "How do you know when enough is enough? When this gets to be too much, what do you do?" And he said, "You know, Joe, I've got about 25 families dependent on me. That's why I tour, and I love to make music." And he told me a few other things, and he said, "Joe, never become a slave to your possessions." And that, although it wasn't the first time I ever heard that, it was a time in which I actually listened to it. It was just a piece of advice I'll give to my sons.
Why don't you sing me a song like you always do?
Dr. Mike's asleep.
No, I'm not.
We'd be filming sometimes in the middle of the night, literally in a pigsty. It stunk and it was awful. And, you know, we have 40 horses everywhere. You can trust me, it was not a good smelling experience. And it was about 3 in the morning and everyone's tired. We were shooting nights. And June came up to me and we just had our lunch break on our plastic plates and styrofoam and whatever. And it was, you know, it's kind of weird to eat lunch at 2 in the morning. And then she'd look around and she said, "Jane, we're too old, too rich, and too famous to be doing this." I said, "June, I think you may be right, but we're doing it." She said, "I know."
I'm off to Montana for to throw the Julian.
Off in the corner, you'd hear Johnny. And Johnny got this little rinky-dink guitar that was, you know, part of the scene. And he is singing to the crew while they're setting up the lights. And they're getting a private concert from Johnny Cash at 3 in the morning, somewhere in the middle of nowhere where we were shooting.
Well, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the green prairie with her husband Ike?
What was really on the show and what was happening in between, it's hard to remember which was which because he always had the guitar right there.
And the big wheel ran by faith, and the little wheel ran by the grace.
Music has a big influence on my emotions and the way I feel, and when I would work on Dr. Quinn, I'd go back to my trailer and just play Johnny's stuff. I'd listen to him all the time, and really I rediscovered Johnny's music by working with him.
Oh, Lord, help me to walk another mile, just one more mile.